Hello and welcome to an episode of the Base Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous, and I am your host, Captain Know-It-All. And I'm your host, Captain Pervert. So, as you remember our previous episode, if you've watched it, that I want to lose my virginity by inviting my two colleagues into a shed.
You what? What our colleague is actually referring that he is a James Bond virgin, because the shed we're going to is one of them homemade kit cinema outfits, and obviously we pay to see these movies, and obviously the producers have offered him to see the entire James Bond collection, but obviously he has to watch the movies in Ian Fleming's book order, and he started off with Casino Royale, the 2006 one, not the spoof one.
No, but I don't know about that yet, and I didn't know about the double O until I got far into the book. But the movie, well, that's a different thing. It explains it a lot easier.
Bond frowned. It's not difficult to get a 00 number if you're prepared to kill people, he said. That's all the meaning it has. It's nothing to be particularly proud of. I've got the corpses of a Japanese cipher expert in New York and a Norwegian double agent in Stockholm to thank for being a 00. Probably quite decent people. They just got caught up in the gale of the world like that Yugoslav that Tito bumped off. It's a confusing business, but if it's one's profession, one does what one's told.
So obviously I was very excited to watch the movie.
But we didn't get far, because this what happened.
Whoa, yeah, it's starting. Whoa, turn it off, I don't like the guys growling. No, that's scary, no.
Apologies for that disappointment. Obviously, he got scared.
I couldn't help it.
So, we prefer to move on. So, obviously, if you remember our previous show, if you've watched it or not, that someone's complained about, how we've been doing stuff.
What, you doing naughty things and that?
No, that, mentioning about, we haven't mentioned, I would say, personally, that, well, just get on with it. Well, the thing is, though, we haven't mentioned our other not-so-tame racing driver, or is she tamed, our tame racing driver. I mean, obviously, we've been showing our GIMP, haven't we? Now, if a lot of people don't know what we're on about, if you remember a classic program called Top Gear, they had a very popular character called the Stig, and if you think about our not-so-tame racing drivers, they could be something like that.
Something like that popular car program criticising other people having a Vauxhall Cavalier convertible.
Now, when most comedians come actors make it to the big time, they buy themselves a big time car. Rowan Atkinson, for instance, bought himself a McLaren F1. Steve Coogan got a Ferrari 355. Norman Wisdom, well, forget that one. Anyway, our guest tonight, when he made it to the big time, he bought one of these. Are we ready? Right, here we go. Look at that. It is a Vauxhall Cavalier convertible. Apparently this guy was devoted to making people laugh even when he was on his way to the supermarket. Shall we meet him? Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Enfield. How are you? What in God's name possessed you to buy one of those?
It's absolutely lovely car, very reliable motor, the Cavalier. But I did feel a bit of a, because I'd sort of become slightly famous, and you find yourself, it's the only convertible I've had go up to the lights in the middle of London, because I've always lived in London. You're sort of in the lights, and you've got the roof down, and people crossing the road in front of you, and they look in, they see you, yeah, ain't that loads of money? And you're just stuck there because the light's red.
Oh look, here there's a magazine, the Convertible Correspondence for the Vauxhall Cavalier Convertible Owners Club.
Great.
I know you appeared in this, and this is my favourite bit, under famous owners. An occasional feature. They haven't been able to find anyone since he's got one, and you said it was better than a BMW.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. It's better than a BMW. What fine hair. Yes.
Which bit of it did you think was better than a BMW? Then?
Well, I think I thought the price was better than a BMW.
Fair point. Interestingly, when you decided that it was time to part with the Vauxhall Cavalier convertible, you were getting even more famous at the time. You went backwards and bought a Rover 200.
Yes, I did.
Again, what in God's name possessed you to do that?
Because most work in our industry is done in Soho, and there was a shop in Soho that sold Rovers. So I went in there and bought the Rover.
Forgive me, Soho, it's close to Park Lane, on which, from memory, there's Aston Martin, Jaguar, BMW, Lexus, McLaren, and so forth.
Right.
You could have gone to any one of those shops, not to the Rover one, and bought a Rover 200, which was
the Rover was in Soho, and they're about half a mile away, and then...
So is this why you swapped the Rover for a Metro?
Yeah, same way.
When you were going around to see Rowan Atkinson or whoever at the time, in your Cavalier or your Metro or your Rover, did they say, Harry, and take you on one side, maybe try to give you some advice?
No, they're very bad. In fact, it did actually happen once. I never talk about sort of saying that, but I do have a abiding memory in my head of driving around to Rowan's house. It sounds very show busy, but it's the only time it's ever happened. And Robbie Coltrane was there, and Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, and they all had nice cars. And I arrived in my Cavalier, and they were all outside. It was a nice day, and they were all talking about each other's cars, and they looked at me, and I looked at them, and no one ever mentioned it. Just no one ever mentioned it.
There's nothing.
No one ever mentioned the car. None of them ever.
Anyway, what have you got now?
Now we've got a Mercedes estate. Yes.
Very
nice. It's very small, and it's too small. And my wife's got a Mini. Very good.
Have you seen this?
Yes, I want that car. It's called a Volvo.
I want that car.
It's got 7 seats, and
there's a picture on the screen.
That's a Volvo, because I'm not allowed to drive, because my wife likes to drive. So I have to sit in that other thing, and at the moment I sit in a car like this with an airbag here. This one, it looks very big. I either want this or the BMW one, which we tried out. It's fantastic.
No, you don't.
It's great. It's
I assure you don't.
It's the ideal car for my wife to drive, because she's got blonde hair and we live in Notting Hill, and that's the car that people drive.
You're not just here to chat today.
Aren't I?
No, because earlier today we had you doing some work.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. You see, the thing is, every week we are going to run an item called a star in a reasonably priced car. We got the star, obviously. What we then needed was a reasonably priced car. Now, we talked to Hyundai, they said no. We talked to Nissan, they said no. We talked to Daewoo, they said no. Then we talked to Suzuki, and they said sure. Beveliana, £9,995 on the road. In fact, it's over there. There it is. And what a beauty it is. The most beautiful car I've ever seen. And what we're going to do in the world. Absolutely. And the idea is that every week our star will take that round our test track, see how fast he or she can do it, and then we'll post that time on a board, and at the end of the series we'll be able to name Britain's fastest celebrity. Trouble is, of course, we weren't going to let you go out first of all. I had to try it with the other guys, and this is what happened. 34 miles an hour. No, look at this, it's going well. I once drove a super tanker that was a bit like this.
Similar sort.
We're going off, we're off the track.
Have a little bit of track with us there, which is a paint job.
Anyway, we got the tracking fixed, and the gearbox, and I posted a time, even with Big Jason in the back, of 1 minute 50 seconds. Now, we're currently cutting your lap in the edit suite. We'll be showing it later. How fast do you think you might have done it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
But it was very fast.
Was it? Well, I
Yeah.
can't remember what comes next. Oh, I know. We're going to see if we can get that car to go through a speed camera. We're going to try and beat a speed camera.
So do you want me to stay here or go?
No, have a seat, roll your sleeves up.
Right.
Would you like a drink?
Yeah.
Chill.
So, as you can see by watching that footage, that they've got some horrible stigma against convertibles. Yeah, Vauxhall convertibles, you know. Or is it?
But obviously, you know, previous shows they talked about, you know, it's really for ladies to drive a convertible. Maybe because it's an easy solution to, you know, for drying their hair, you know, naturally, you know, instead of using a hair dryer. It's like washing your clothes, you know. It's a certain smell when you dry them indoors, and it's a different smell when you dry them outside.
Why are we talking about hanging washing?
Well, I thought it could be like that.
Look,
We're a car program, and we might have come out with some proper intellectually advice and stuff and facts and
well, obviously we get our facts from watching old classic movies in our little cinema, don't we? But we do notice the very old black and white movies, a lot of them was actually containing a lot of people doing vehicle stunts, not with cars with roll cages in them, but they were actually doing them in convertibles. Now, the most famous car stunt you may notice in one history was a guy called Dar Robinson. Now, he drove a car off the Grand Canyon, and he had to do it in a convertible. That's the only way he could get out.
and a lot of people go parachuting in convertibles as well, don't they?
Well, yes, as well.
It's like you, isn't it, Captain Gorgeous, when you mentioned about Lee Majors in the Thor Guide doing vehicle stunts with convertibles, and you briefly mentioned about this parachuting car, and obviously you didn't know what it was emulating. Yeah, we explained it. It was James Bond, and that's why I got round about James Bond drives a convertible as well.
Well, yeah, but he drives a lot more vehicles, doesn't he, as well?
Well, obviously, you know, you ain't got going with the James Bond, you know, films yet, have you?
Well, no, but I'll attempt it again. I wasn't just expecting a lion in it, were I?
Yeah, but that is just a company logo.
Yeah, well, I might have seen it before in colour, but I've never seen it in black and white. It's more scary in black and white. And another thing...
What?
What? How old is James Bond, these movies? I thought it was 1962, you said.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, this is 2006. Why is it in black and white?
They do it on purpose to give you that nostalgic atmosphere of very old, like you see them educational old movies about vehicles. Like here's an example.
Truck and tractor pulling hasn't always been a sophisticated, supercharged spectacular. Back in the good old days, it was a thrill just to keep the combustion engine combusting. Oh, they tried a few variations on a theme back then, but they just couldn't seem to come up with the right kind of equalizer. Until, that is, almost by accident, they discovered sheriff pulling. Of course, in time, sheriffs gave way to sleds, but it was obviously such a doggone good idea, everyone wanted to see more. Car crushing also took time to develop and to recover from. Finally, somebody came up with the idea of a monster truck that drove on giant beanbags. Problem was, it couldn't crush a marshmallow, and that drove hot rodders up a wall. But But at least it was a start. You might say they were over the hump. For the origins of motocross, one has to go back to the bog. You see, the idea of driving in the mud has been around, well, since the invention of the spark plug. After all, what better way could there be to test the performance, engineering, and suspension of a machine than to master the mud? But hey, there's no sense getting bogged down in the history of motor rock. Not with the manic monster madness of today.
So that was interesting, but I still don't understand why James Bond is done in black and white.
Well, it wasn't a really good example what you did there, is it, Captain Know-It-All? But the point is that you give that nostalgic to it.
Well, yeah, whatever. Couldn't they afford any colour film for it then?
Oh no, they could do, but obviously no. Like Captain Know-It-All's trying to explain to you, he's talking about, you know, the past, but obviously they don't talk about the past like the book does, but obviously you get that atmosphere when you see it in black and white.
I still don't get it.
Well, it's quite good how they actually do it. You see it in black and white, you think of old nostalgia to it. Right, you're going to see Bond, right, and you're going to see his first chase, and it's on fat, it's chasing a guy who can do parkour.
Thanks for spoiling it.
Well, he's trying to come out with an example for you to learn this vital bit.
Right.
Yeah, so he's in a chase, and it's only, you know, if I put it in black and white, you'd be thinking, oh, that looks old.
Right.
I mean, I've got a good film to put on. That might be a good example.
Let's take a look back at where it all began. Producers and directors discovered early on that an excellent chase scene was practically a guaranteed audience pleaser. They found ways to include them in many comedies and dramas. The foot chase was used over and over in the biggest films of the day. As in every great chase, obstacles abound as our hero tries to get away. The best chases always kept the audience wondering, how can he possibly escape? The greater the odds, the greater the thrill. For a comical chase, this director tried dressing heroes in kilts, putting them on a tandem bicycle and sending them for a dizzying ride down a steep road with the bad guys closing in behind them. The good guy chasing the bad guy, a classic element in every Western that rolled out of Hollywood. Every kid in the theater wished that he could be right up there on the screen riding the horses. Even some of the adults shared that desire. The Western has always allowed us to play out our most basic need to see good triumph over evil. The hero must win, but not without a struggle. Some chases took place at sea, some in the air, where every near miss over and under obstacles made the audiences gasp. There's no margin for error in stunts like these.
That was James Coburn, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. You know, he did the competition against Bond, you know, Flynn. Oh no, Dad!
What are you two on about?
Oh, better show him the trailer.
Wait a minute. There's something going on here. And here. And here. That one man and only one man can solve. The world is in turmoil. Frenzied diplomats turn to their computers and come up with the one individual on Earth who can snatch victory from defeat. Flint! Flint! And here he is, the total man. Our man, Flint. James Coburn.
Don't let that sleepy look fool you girls. Our man Flint can handle everything. Lives it up like mad. Private barber, personal valet. He fences for breakfast. Karates for lunch. Dances for dinner. Kisses anytime. Visits the most sensational places. And knows just the right thing to do for unexpected company like boss Lee J. Cobb.
Lower your hand slowly and smile. What? If he senses hostility towards me, he'll rip you apart now.
And when our man Flint discovers a spy like gorgeous Gila Golan close to home, his superb training and instant reflexes take over.
You won't believe me.
You try me.
And this is Dr. Schneider. Schneider, the man behind it all. His plot is diabolical but irresistible.
My sole purpose in life is to bring pleasure to my companions.
Mention pleasure, and Flint is right on the job. This contains 65 weapons, you know.
This has 82 different functions. 83 if you wish to light a cigar.
He's as much at home in the Casbah as he is in the boudoir. Or anywhere else, for that matter. The surprises keep building. The women get wilder. But whatever happens, Flint can handle it.
What the hell was that?
Oh, that's the trailer of Flint, right?
But why? I only want to know why James Bond's in black and white.
Well, obviously, you know, Bond was in the 60s and they were making a very big deal about colour film back then, you know, with them trippy effects with 60s paintings and stuff, and things were crazy. Like a Mackel movie.
What the hell's that?
Didn't they do a sequel with Flint, didn't they? Yeah, but it was very sexist because like ladies want to take over the world. Maybe they got their inspiration from, you know, when the worm has turned. Yeah, but that was in the future though, that. Oh yeah, it were.
Why are you babbling on about? All I want to know is a question about why is James Bond filmed in black and white for?
To give you that atmosphere.
I don't get it.
Oh, why don't we play the other trailer of Flint? He might get it then.
Why?
emergency? You don't mean it. There's only one man to cope with it. Find Derek Flint.
Flint. Flint. Flint. You're in Moscow with him.
Derek, darling, what are you doing in Moscow?
The usual thing, my love. You're in the jet stream of supersonic suspense with him. You're in his private penthouse harem. You're learning the language of dolphins with him. You're with him in the cryobiology vaults, where they deep freeze humans. Yes, you're back in action. Back in danger. Back in fun with him. You're in like Flint. Starring James Coburn as the master of the kiss, the karate, and the kill. Battling the most ravishing gallery of feminine rogues who ever schemed to take over the world. From their headquarters in history's most fantastic palace of beauty, Fabulous Face.
Face it, Mr. Flint, we women are outliving you. In the laboratories, our reflexes are quicker than yours, our manual dexterity 20% higher, and our patience a damn sight longer.
Flint's fearless leader, Lee J. Cobb, is back in action, too.
Flint. He's not the only master of disguise.
Welcome to Fabulous Face, Mrs. Hiller.
And Jean Hale is the most fabulous face of all. In this scheme that combines brains and beauty.
Brain and hair washing at the same time.
Exactly.
If there's a girl Flint can't charm, she hasn't been born yet.
What is it about you that makes you so irresistible to women?
I don't compete with them.
If there's a crime he can't solve, it hasn't been committed yet.
Elaine, Mimosa, Hyacinth, Hannibus.
The intrigue reaches from the warm, very warm Caribbean. To the highest office in the land.
I order you... As you know, this lever controls the arming of 10 megatons. With a radiation fallout that could cover half the world.
Hey, stop it. Keep him talking. I'll go after him.
Flint!
Why are you doing this?
Well, it's like you sort of like changing things, trying to mention about that convertible was just totally random, and we were sort of like going all random painting trailers on for you, but we're trying to explain to you,
not the audience, but obviously for me.
Yeah, because you're a bit, you know, not that bright, are you?
What are you getting at?
Well, we're trying to influence that, how the movies work. If they put it in black and white, it's talking about the past.
Yeah, but I still don't understand why it's in black and white.
We're trying to give you that atmosphere. I mean, we've already mentioned like the 60s. Obviously, yeah, you're right. It was all in Technicolor and everything and all that. It's like the bombardment, the Casino Royale, the 1967 one, right? But that's a spoof.
Look, I don't know that one, do I?
Oh, put a trailer on or something.
No!
Casino Royale is too much for one James Bond. Join the Casino Royale fun movement.
Mr. Bond,
I'm Lieutenant Mathis of the Special Police.
Peter Sellers is James Bond.
These are my credentials.
They appear to be in order. Ursula Andress is James Bond. David Niven is James Bond. Woody Allen is James Bond.
My doctor says I can't have bullets enter my body at any time. What if I said I was pregnant?
Joanna Pettit is James Bond.
Rather warm in here, don't you think?
Cool it, Charlie.
Casino Royale is too much for one James Bond. Orson Welles is the heaviest heavy of Smurf. Dahlia Lavi is James Bond.
I'm the new secret weapon.
Fighting for our lives. Casino Royale is too much for one James Bond. Next, Terence Cooper is James Bond. Barbara Boucher is James Bond. Casino Royale is indestructibly wild.
Hello, sailor.
Indescribably funny.
Oh, you like that sort of thing, eh?
Join the Casino Royale fun movement.
I still don't understand why are you putting these trailers on just because James Bond is in black and white. I mean, how it started was just strange. I mean, look! I still don't get it. Even the logo's black and white. I don't get this nostalgia thing you're on about.
Well, this way maybe doing it is, remember the best automatic trailer?
Right.
Imagine if you saw that in black and white. You knew it was filmed in colour, and maybe that will make it nostalgic for you to get that vibe.
I still don't understand what you're doing.
Well, we can play the trailer.
Oh, no. Of the dawn of the human race, they've always needed transport to transport heavy good items, right? That was one of the first ever contractions the human race brought in, was obviously the horse and cart. Now, they can't actually carry on doing that because they didn't have lorries for HGV licenses and all that though. No, but they needed something bigger to bring more heavy goods, and the easiest way to do that was actually to form canals. Yes, canals, and having horses dragging a barge on water made it more light work for the horses to get more heavy goods. So that brings us to the delightful parts of dangerous parts of England, especially Yorkshire, what was well known for the Yorkshire moors, knowing that it was haunted or infested with prehistoric dinosaurs at the time, that no person could not attempt to really build a construction of a canal. Well, actually, maybe the way they could think of doing it, because it's a trailer, to make it epic, they tunneled their way through the Pennines, yeah. Now, they got through, but they started from one end from the other and didn't meet in the middle. They missed each other for a few, inches and that, but it's alright. The tunnel's got a little funny bend in the middle of it, but boats can still manage to go through, as I should say. But times moved on, as we all know, as obviously the steel rails came, as the future moved on, and people used trains, but they needed to make another tunnel, so they built 2 tunnels for trains to go one way and the other, but that wasn't good enough. Now, modern times, they needed a bigger tunnel, and that's why you got 3 tunnels of railways, but then there's a canal tunnel, so that means Staffordshire Tunnel is 4. But you can imagine all that engineering, all that suffering people going through trying to get that tunnel built, because it was all to do with textile mills, because people needed clothes. And not even that, we all think of that as horrible criminal activity with smuggling. Yes, you'll be thinking people might have smuggled legal contraband into Yorkshire or out of Yorkshire, because it's been well known for the most hideous crime of all. Yes, you know it. Yeah, you think of moonshining. Well, what about Yorkshire pudding smuggling? Yes, a serious crime. Not as serious that if you were caught smuggling Lancashire puddings into Yorkshire, that's an immediate execution, as they said. But people would never thought of dawn that they could think that people would do a ultimate car challenge. The best automatic is brave enough to be actually filming at that location, because no one else would dare to do that, except the BBC and Amazon Prime. But as we all know with them Grand Tour blokes, they never actually left the security of the defence system of that marvellous airport, because they have to have very severe security. They have a man working on the gate, right? Yeah, and it's surrounded in a fence. Yeah, their defence systems just to be, because it's a very busy airport, it's just hectic with people trying to, get their hands on Yorkshire puddings or something. But yeah, as we all know, the Grand Tour blokes might film there, left the places in a mess and all that lot, but us best automatic team are actually going over there as well to pick up their vehicles, because it's the only way they can get their vehicles actually airlifted in and delivered to them.
Whoa, bruv, you got that wrong, right?
What are you doing on the trailer? Get off!
No, but you got your facts wrong, right? That man, obviously, yeah, we're getting our vehicles airlifted, but not like airlifted like that. They're getting delivered at the airport, yes. But I thought they were to make it dramatic and all that lot. Well, not as such, but yeah, they are getting delivered by Amazon.
What, you're actually on the telly by Amazon?
No, by the driver and that, because they're delivering the vehicle.
Right. So they're bringing it in a van?
Well, yeah.
Well, did you get here then?
Oh, I came on the bus.
A bus?
Yeah, that's what I said, a bus.
Yeah, but a bus?
Yeah, you do know what a bus is, don't you?
Oh, we bloody know what a bloody bus is, but that's not the point, right? It's a car program. You might be coming by a car.
Yeah, but I ain't got a licence
licence, have I? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But you're doing a car road and you haven't got a licence yet?
Well, I can drive, but I can't drive on public roads, can I?
Well, right, why are you catching a bus?
Well, it's public transport. It's like I caught a train to get up to Yorkshire and all.
You what?
I even got the tube, you know, to get to the station.
But why?
Clean public transport.
Well, you do a car road on. You might be using a car.
I did later on, you know, a taxi.
Oh, yeah, alright. You know you passed your driving test.
I can't, I keep failing.
But why do you keep failing for?
Well, because I keep crashing them, that's why, on my driving test.
You're not meant to be crashing them, are you?
I won't crashing them on bloody purpose, I just have crashes, that's what I do.
What you shouldn't be. That's why you keep failing, because you keep crashing, don't you?
I can't help being bloody crashing them, can I? That's the problem. If something goes wrong, you crash.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I don't matter, just get on with a trailer.
Oh, that's what I've been bloody trying to do.
Just get on with the trailer.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't understand how you keep crashing on your driving test.
Well, I don't know, but, you know, I've been taught by a goddamn driving instructor.
Yeah, but what does your driving instructor do?
Well, he's a stuntman at part-time weekends and all that lot.
What's he taught you?
Well, he's taught me, the gas pedal.
What else?
Well, that's it.
What about the brake?
Oh, I haven't got that stage yet, have I?
Well, that's what you keep bloody crashing for.
Well, I don't know how to bloody... I've been trying how to bloody stop the bloody car, have I? It's always one way to stop it, it's crashing, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's not a proper way how to do it, is it?
No, that's what my instructors taught me how to do it, right? So, they know best, don't they?
No, they don't. I mean, it's a sort of madness. You're just crashing cars for the sake of it. You're never going to pass your bloody test doing that, are you?
Well, one day I might, you never know.
Not really, you won't. So, we'll have to move on with your car challenge, don't we? Because I might be doing a bloody trailer for you.
Well, yes. As you all know, back in history...
What? Oh, I'm doing the trailer, you do know that.
Well, yeah, but obviously, you don't know everything, do you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you didn't know about my driving instructor, did you?
Well, why would I know things about your driving lessons and all that, Lord?
Well, there's been a few incidents as well with my driving experience.
Well, what happened?
Well, obviously on this challenge as well, what we did.
What happened?
Well, I'm not allowed to drive on public roads, but it didn't stop me driving on public footpaths, does it?
You can't be driving on public footpaths.
Well, my driving instructor told me to keep deaths off the road by driving on the pavement.
You can't be doing that as well.
Well, it's like when I was going for my pilot's licence, right?
You what?
Yeah, you know, Huddersfield, right, National Airport, right, you can get licences really cheap, but there is a problem with the runway, you know, because there's no landing lights on, right, because partially it's made out of tarmac and grass, but the thing is, though, you've got Blackmore Foot Res, where you can practice, your water landings.
Water landings?
Well, yeah, if you had a seaplane.
And did you have a seaplane?
Well, no. But I did practice to sort of land in the night.
What do you mean by practicing in the night?
Well, it wasn't night, it's Saturday. But the only thing I found was anything with big enough with lights was the M62. So I practiced landing on there.
What? You landed on the M62, the motorway?
Well, yeah. But the war cars got in my way in Saturday, but
you didn't do that.
Well, I did, because Huddersfield runway doesn't have any lights.
Why don't they have any lights?
I think they can't afford the electricity bill, so that's why. So if you want to land a plane, you have to learn how to land in the night.
Well, no lights?
I think so. That's why I was practicing on the motorway.
Why?
Because they've got street lights, haven't they?
That don't make sense, you idiot.
It makes perfectly good sense. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be trying it in the dark, am I? Why not? You know, well, it'd be dark, and you know I get scared of the dark, don't I? So obviously, I ain't going to attempt to, land a plane in the dark, am I? That don't make sense again, does it? Because you're scared of the dark, don't mean you can practice in the daylight. Well, yeah, I closed my eyes, and I might pretend it was dark, didn't I? Then what happened? Well, obviously, you know, I landed on the motorway. Successful. And your flight instructor taught you how to do that? Well, yeah. Well, where's this flight instructor from then? Well, it's the same person teaching me to drive. The stuntman? Well, technically, he's a daredevil. That's more best terms to say what he does. Does he get paid a lot being a daredevil? Well, no, he does it volunteering in his backyard. His backyard? Well, yeah. Why? Well, he's a bit of a barnstormer. Oh yeah, he likes it. They ain't doing mad stuff like that. And he's teaching you? Well, yeah. He looks dangerous. Well, you know, this should teach you. Teach me to do that? Well, teach you how to pause, use the pause button. What? The pause button? What are you on about? You got it on record. I've been recording all this. I might be doing your trailer. Well, our producers want you to do that and put it on YouTube in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes? A good time me agent said it all that, eh? Well, don't make a train wreck out of it, alright? Oh, very funny. Well, the producers want you to mention about the Citroen Museum shutting down, and obviously they went on eBay to try to buy some of them cars and them exhibits because they're scrapping them all, you know, and taking them away and having them scrapped. Well, are they? Well, I think they are to melt them down to make them, you know, the French army, robot army or something like that. Yeah, so they went on eBay, right? Don't forget, they went on eBay to mention about buying some Citroens, right? And it like you're trying to do some off-roading with them. Well, yeah, we can't off four-wheel drive ones. We're doing it like the VW one, you know, the VW Beetle. Yeah, you done that, ain't you? Well, yeah, we'll put specifically on about the French version of the Coudenwagen. What? But it ain't a Coudenwagen. Yeah, but we know the French had to hide their Citroens, you know, because obviously, you know, the Second World War. Yeah, we all know that, because you mentioned it on your best automatic, the VW Beetle one, aren't you? I know that, but I want you to tell the audience that. I haven't forgotten, I've got it written down here. So, if you got it written down, you'll have it about legging it, won't you? What do you mean, legging it? I'm not going to run away, am I? No, legging it, the history of legging it, alright? Because you've got to mention all that, because that's that part of our challenge, isn't it? Oh, yeah. It's about what they did, isn't it? Yeah, that's a challenge, isn't it, against the electric canal boat? Yeah, because in history, with the horses, they didn't go swimming in the tunnel behind the canal boat. They had to be walked over the moors, and that was one of the first ever races, maybe. What, a race against a boat and a horse? Well, horses and two men on a plank of wood, called legging it. So that's where the phrase comes from when you're escaping from people. Leg it! Right, that's where it's from. That's so interesting of history, isn't it? Yeah. That gives me bat flashes, that, you know. What do you mean? What, this?
Now listen. Have you spoken with your sister?
You know I have, Mum.
Give me your hand.
There she goes.
I mean, you and your sister, you used to be inseparable. What happened, Dex? What happened between you? I remember you, Owen, and Attie playing out in the backyard. Your little games, your little grifts, robbing banks. You used to give your little scams code names, do you remember? Oh, what was that one?
The Keith Moon.
Yeah, that's right. It was called the Keith Moon because it
involved lots of explosive percussion and permanent ear damage.
I think that's based on a true story, that.
Now it ain't, bruv. Anyhow, you got to get on with the trailer. You only got 2 minutes.
I don't think I'll have time to do that editing.
Just put it on as it is. No one's not going to notice, are they? I mean, it's not like they're going to watch it, are they?
Well, yeah, right, yeah, that's right. What the hell? I still don't understand why that is in black and white, though, to give me a nostalgic vibe.
Well, I tried my bloody best, didn't I?
No, I don't understand your trailer as well, because it was just rubbish. You butting in and all that lot.
Well, I didn't know at the time.
But I still don't understand why James Bond is filmed in black and white.
Oh, this is going to be hard work. Oh, we're going to get you to understand.
I still don't understand why.
Well, you know that the book talks about James Bond talking to Vesper about his past, and in movies they sort of do it like in black and white.
No, it don't. It goes all wiggly woggly and whatever, you know, like a bat flash or something.
Well, yeah, that's one method, but yeah, a lot of them do it in black and white.
It doesn't make sense.
Don't make sense how long this program's going, because we haven't done any bloody core stuff, have we? Yeah, for this moment, I think we should end the show. Why? Because we're not getting anywhere. I mean, it's like with you, innit? What do you mean? How long did it take you to watch the film as well? Well, that will complicate that movie. Well, yeah, right. So, everyone, on that written book, it's time to end the show.